Hello. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna be playing some Ace Attorney tonight. And that means we're gonna be doing some investigating and using our brains to figure out what's going on. It's a game where you use your brain. You get to hear my funny voices when I play the game. Because that's what you deserve. That's what the internet deserves. Is my bad voice acting. And that's what we're gonna do tonight. So let's begin. Okay, so last time we are now officially the defense for Gina Lestrade. She has been accused of murder, like most characters and like most defendants in the Ace Attorney games. So now we have to investigate. We're going to actually finally begin the case now and actually start investigating what's going on. We had like 4 hours of just introduction stuff to this case before we actually began the case. That's a long time. But now we can actually start this thing and actually start investigating and figure out what is going on here. And how everything ties together. It's all connected. It's always been all connected. Alright, so we need to investigate the pawnbrokery. I want to play up until at least... Hopefully I can get to the point where the trial begins here, because that's where I would like to leave off. And then I'll take a break for a day. So, I want to continue this while it's still kind of fresh in my head here. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. And now to thrust these representation papers in Mr. Fish and Chip's face and see what he makes of them. Hello again, Inspector Fish and Chips. Do you have a minute, please? What is it now? You should go home and get some rest. Here you are, Brixie. Here are the representation papers. I'm supposed to present those. Give those back. Your ladyship! Oh! I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragbash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is. I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue. Glug, glug, glug. Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes, I hardly feel tired at all. I'm as fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime, then? Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. It's where I discovered Mr. Windybank and Gina. But I would like to investigate in here first. Right. Well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever. Even with the lads working around the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the Yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, Sunshine. Sunshine. Come then. Let us not waste any time. Yeah. That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Runo? Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan. Oh well, this'll be a treat. Shall we have a listen? Must we? Hey, we can have charming music while we investigate. What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound? It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the rooms is giving you fierce daggers from the eyes. Sort of looks. Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word. And their souls will be mine. Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. There's the article ledger here, and Mr. Winniebank's notes in... What's this? Looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind. Oh, it's one of those cards. Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Ooh, show us, Susie. Show us. February 10:30 p.m. Oh, 15th of February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited. One gentleman's overcoat. Okay, so this was the ticket from yesterday. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th of April, 10:30 p.m. A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think... Yes! This must be the ticket for the overcoat that Guinea redeemed yesterday. And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though. It seems Mr. Winniebank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have on hand. To hand. But this photograph of a cat... It looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently. Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. We looked at it yesterday. Did you forget already? It's the same as the one Guinea gave us earlier. You do remember that, right? Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out. Alright. Let the cogs turn. Yes, they are exactly the same. But... Actually, no, they're a little bit different, actually. Is this supposed to be a stereoscopic image? I wonder if I can... Okay, never mind. I was trying to see if I could cross my eyes and just get the effect, but I can't do it. Never mind. Hehe, I've got it. These two photographs hide an amazing secret. Secret? What does she mean? You must tell us, Iris, at once. Hehe, do you really want to know? Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. That's why we're here. But you're just not going to tell me. You're just going to stare at me. Fine, I'm going to keep investigating then. That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn. In pawn. It's not too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head if you ask me. But clearly Mr. Windybank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. I can't examine the book? I want to examine the book. Alright, I want to look at the, let's look at the shelves here. These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy. Yes, it's really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this coarse statue, for example? Well, you never know, somebody probably would. Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know. It's kind of like the dollar store, or the Goodwill store. You can just find a whole bunch of junk if you just look around. Sometimes you find something amazing. Are you alright, Uno? I didn't say anything that was out of context, did I? Oh, it's just... well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole. But when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue. It's calling out to me now. It's like, I must have this statue. That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever. This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. Yes. What's this thing? I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are. Well, I'm not confident I can get it close again. What is this thing? I think it's a... oh, I think it's like it was a portable stereoscopic viewer. That's what it is. Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope. Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that he used a great big contraption over there. Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contained a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself. I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. You'll beat keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. Do you get paid for cleaning toilets in Japan? You know it's okay? Do you? Is that what you did before you decided to become an amateur lawyer? Alright, I want to look at this. Ah, look here. Blood. And a bullet. Oh yes, a bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall. Presumably, Mr. Windybank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time. Oh, wait, I know. The case has been solved. Mr. Windybank shot himself. That's what happened. See, nobody murdered him. He shot himself, because that's what he said yesterday he was going to do. It makes perfect sense now. Because Mr. Windybank stated, if anything crazy were to happen, the first thing he would do is shoot himself in the head. So that's probably what happened. He just killed himself. So case solved. Okay, we can move on. Case solved. But apparently, if it didn't happen, because I guess he must have missed and shot his calendar instead. Ah, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room, whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that. Sorry? It's all there in the adventures of Hairlock Sholmes, you know? Isn't that right, Iris? Did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? What's that mean? Did you ingest something? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime. He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once. Forget that for now, Runo. Let's examine this bullet. With my magic glasses, they'll steal your soul. What's that around the bullet hole? It's obviously paint. It's red paint. What do you think it is? Rinosuke? What else could it be? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar. Let me lick it and see what it tastes like. Oh yep, this is definitely blood. Aha! I may well be able to help you with that. Nani? There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo? I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris. I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it. You see, when it comes to blood, we're all different types. Yes, what a scientific observation. So you need this. Oh no, what is that scary looking thing? Hurley and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does. Watch. Bang! Ah, it turns blood green. Cool. Oh, the color of the bloodstain is changed, is now green. Awesome, the blood is no longer red, it's now green. Excellent, invention. How is this useful? There! Does it make sense now? No, it doesn't. Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. I don't. Good. It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see? Yes, how wonderful. The chemical fires combined with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? I bet Guinea would say it's bleeding great. So, whose blood are we looking at then? It's green blood now, so I'm assuming it's from some green-blooded Vulcan. Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so we'll have to cut somebody open and test their blood. Just find someone whose blood turns the same color and you'll know who it belongs to, in a flash. And you can do this by inflicting a grievous injury on them. It'll be fun. Like, let's try it on the policeman right there. Let's see what color his blood is. It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it? 1 flash, or 2. This could turn out to be a very valuable clue. So we must make a note of it in the court record. We're gonna collect blood samples, okay. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure. I mean, we don't want to run out. Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow. Oh, there were all sorts of different colors. There were pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different. As long as we have enough colors. Eventually we might run out of colors here. Because there's probably more people than colors in the world. Yeah, I think there's more people than colors. There might be. I wonder what color my blood will turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. The color of my blood is black. Black is my heart. Alright. Green blood. Would you mind if I showed you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but... Oh, I don't really like boring things. Oh, okay, shows he's not interested in this thing. I thought you wanted to look at this, though. Okay. Maybe I'll look at the front of it. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little bit like Wahagai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under the heated kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats were different. It's one of my pairs that used the back of his photograph to write our redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had at hand. I already know what the front, what's the front and what's the reverse side now. Okay, that didn't really... Actually, you know what? Is this seal important? No. You know, maybe it's just the seal of the shop. Oh, I got top to them. So, Iris, about these two photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Winningbag's counter and the one Gina gave us before. Can you put two and two together to actually figure this out for us, please? Because we're too dumb. What is this amazing secret that you mentioned that's hidden between these two identical prints? Actually, that's not quite right. Sorry? If you look carefully, the two prints aren't the same. Not exactly. They're not? What? Having a look at them now. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other? I think so. It's very subtle, though. But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Ah, well, it's because they're a set, you see. No, I don't. This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment. Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel I've just heard about that word recently? Oh, yes. That's what Mr. Shom showed us yesterday. The big one. You see? There it is, just over there, the one that has porn inside of it. Oh, yes, of course. That magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch. Hehehe. Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions. What? Really? Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful. Then I'll be able to tell you. I'll explain all about 3D. It's this newfangled thing. She's over the moon, bless her. Should we let her explain, though? Really need to carry on investigating the scene. I, for one, simply have to know. Okay, viewers, are you ready to learn about how the 3D pictures and video work? Because I have a feeling that's what she's going to explain. Because that is the basis of what stereoscopic imaging is. That's how your 3D movies work. You got an old concept. Oh, by the way, peanut butter cup. Yeah. So delicious. But yes, we're gonna learn about that. And who says video games cannot be educational? They can be at times. Have you ever considered, Bruno, how our eyes see depth in the world around us? Well, I just opened them, and it works. It just works. But the reason it works is because we have two eyes. Two eyes. Shocking. If you try closing this one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see with your left eye, and what you see with your right eye, are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see. Ah, my brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me. Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs consist of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick. I should give you a little treat for figuring that out all on your own. So, if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'll be able to see depth in these prints. Yes, Bruno, you're beginning to understand. And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that. No, the stereoscope just kind of acts as your eyes to help merge two pictures together. Your brain does the depth thing. Yes, but as long as you have the two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all. You can? Really? Actually, that's what I was trying to do earlier. I'm trying to cross my eyes looking at the images. I couldn't quite do it. Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh, yes. I'm dying to have a go. Suzato-san really loves this kind of thing. You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you both do that? Cross my eyes? I think I can. Watch me, and see if you can copy. No. Make your eyes do this. Also, be sure to take a picture, because we're going to save this picture for later. Make your eyes do this. Alright, let me try. Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Go ahead, Suzato. Yeah! There, how's that? Oh yes, this is going to be the, I'm using this as my, thumbnail for YouTube when this gets posted. Yep, this is thumbnail material here. Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Bruno. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time. Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed. Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. Okay. You see two overlapping images like this. Oh, I can't do it with my eyes. It's just, yeah. You try it now, Bruno. Go ahead, kill your eyesight. I'm just gonna have to give it a try, I suppose. Did the prints blend the two images for you? Now the next step. This is the part where it's gonna hurt. Is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then to try crossing your eyes again. The prints should slowly merge. I'll do it for you on the screen here. They form a new, single image in the center. Oh yeah! Oh yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works. I can see it in the middle now. It looks surreal. I could look at it all day. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt. Your turn, Bruno. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle. Can't believe we're doing this in the game. Like this is it? There! You managed it! So now you know how stereoscopic images work. It'll be a lot easier using the device, you know, just so you don't really strain your eyes. That's what the devices are made for, to make that easier to do. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. Yep. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Bruno? They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this low knob here, then set the pair of photographs in the stand at the back end, it's still amazing even though I know roughly how it works now. Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. Hold on, Did this game originally come out on the 3DS? I'm wondering. Hold on. Because if it did, that would make sense why they have this bit in here. Yes, it did originally come out on the 3DS. Okay, that makes sense. Alright. So it did come out on the 3DS, so probably the image was kind of 3D on the 3DS. Because yeah, you're not really able to duplicate that on the Switch here. You can find one of these folding contraptions in a lot of households in the capital currently. But if these little machines are so affordable, Surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them. But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case. Stereoscopic pictures. I never even heard of them until yesterday. We certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. Okay, that's it. Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I have noticed. The red smear, you mean? Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Suzaru-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case, yes, we need Iris. We should show this to her before I forget. Oh, that looks like blood. Blood. I would say it's from a gloved finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather. Well, don't worry, Runo. You can leave the rest to me. Just aim and fire. And the card is destroyed. Ah, this one has purple blood. It must be a Klingon. Look at that. Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point. Well, this particular stain of blood. Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is? Hold on. I mean, it would depend on who was handling the card. Could be Gina? Because Gina had the card, it could be Mr. Windybank. And that's the only people. I mean, out of that, it could have been... Oh no, it probably could have only been... yeah. Okay. So it was either Gina or Mr. Windybank. Because I don't think Eggs Benedict ever handled the ticket. Let's make a guess here. I think I do. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color returned, but with a little deduction. That's right, I think it's clear. Iris, do you know as well? You first, Runo. Who do you think it belongs to? We'll let you guess once, and then we'll let me guess once. Let's see who'll get it right. Alright, I believe this is the blood of... Oh, I get several choices here, actually. Let's see. Magnus McGilded. I don't think he ever handled the ticket. Because he gave the coat to Gina. Gina went to the pawn shop, and... So, Gina definitely handled the tickets. That is a certainty. Windybank probably handled it also. Price-Fire Mason. I don't think there was any point in time where he would have handled it. But let's just go with Gina here and see if that's what it is. It seems like the most likely option. Oh my. You think this is Gina's blood? I don't know why her blood would be on it, though. Yes, it was Gina who brought the ticket here to Windybanks, after all. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one, which is actually a proper piece of logic, actually. But Gina doesn't own any gloves at all. Oh. And Gina wasn't injured either, was she? Ah, I suppose not. We're trying to work out whose blood came from, so we can rule anyone out who hadn't been bleeding straight away. Perhaps my answer was a little too simple. I have to think this through then some more. Who do we know was bleeding at the time? Okay, well the other option would be Mr. Windybank then. You think somehow it could be Mr. Windybank's blood? Well, he would have been the last person to have handled the ticket. Sometimes simplest answer is the right one. But Mr. Windybank had no injuries before he was shot, that is. We're trying to... Oh, okay, it's not his? Yes, of course. Perhaps it's not a concept you can really grasp unless you bled yourself. Funnily enough, I have accidentally cut myself before, but thanks for the mildly threatening advice. Okay, so... Okay, so Magnus or thrice-fired Mason. I'm trying to remember if McGill had gloves. Oh, okay, we'll just say McGill did. Mr. McGill did? Yes, after all, this redemption ticket belonged to him. When would he have had possession of the ticket, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out in my head. Because he gave the code to Gina, he told Gina to go to the pawn shop and get it there and get the ticket. So Gina had the ticket. Was there a point in time when she gave it to McGilded? Maybe I forgot, I don't know. Oh, you don't think? You mean that during the incident on the omnibus? Yes, I expect so. It's a very clear print and no small amount of blood. So it must have resulted from a fairly serious accident, such as he might have sustained on the omnibus. Wait, but if I remember rightly, then it's not his blood then, it has to be Mason's blood. He had no sign of injuries found in Mr. McGill at all. Oh, yeah, okay, I just realized that, yes. We're trying to work out where the blood came from so we can rule out anyone that hadn't been bleeding again straight away. Don't make me say this again! Yes, I suppose you can. Let's do something. Okay, alright, okay. I have ruled out all the possibilities, so it has to be Mason. Thrice fired Mason. Mason? You don't sound very sure of yourself, the way you trailed off there. Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course, I never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice fired, though. The victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on the ticket 2 months ago. Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windybanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time. So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night. Aye, hello again. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from the stomach? I wasn't much worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to get the man a hand. And goodbye. It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint. This mark. I'm gonna say bump print. But we know that Mr. McGill had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason. Mr. Naruto, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes. Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope. Yes, I think you're right, Runo. Very well. Let's make a note of this. Let's make a note of Mr. Mason's, okay. The portfolio has been updated. So now we must find more purple blood. Behind that door is the storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said. So let's go in. Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windybank, face down on the floor with Gina beside him. As the accused's legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, that's why we're here. We must make a thorough investigation. Yes, of course. And we will. Behind that door. That's the real scene of the crime. Ugh, maybe, until we can determine. If it was where Mr. Windybank really died. Maybe he didn't actually die there. We don't know. Don't worry. If there are clues in there, I'll find them. Poor Iris. I don't know what I'm saying there. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely. For once. Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night. Ah! And bye-bye. Wait! Inspector Fish and Chips, come back. What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. Don't be shy. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from a 10-year-old. I'm afraid that this is all a little much for a young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector. Eh? You want me to do that? I don't know how to do that. Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine. I told you not to get under my feet. I'm gonna stand in the corner and eat my fish and chips, so don't bother me. And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more of what this socially inept inspector has to say. Actually, no, I don't. Oh, Hurley. And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Surely they're done by now. So, Inspector Fish and Chips, what do you make of the crime scene here? Sure. I've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. This is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh, yes, your ladyship. Do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard Police Lieutenant Vicine. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it's locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officer's doing? Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, bus-wise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child. Are you talking about Guinea? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say, she had the gun that was used in her hand. No, it's like a setup. You didn't think about that? It's a little convenient. Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor right now. In her pocket, we found the key to a door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector? Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. No. No. Fish and chips. Yes. Obviously, my personal opinion is that's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright, is he? The thing is, don't mince your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is... No. The operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well... Out with it! Yeah. Yes, ma'am. And they use something called a general anaesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body anesthetized. Anesthetized and oh, I have a hard time pronouncing that. Anesthetized. Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness. In the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for tooth extraction. And the trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Oh my. No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again. Hurley. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. No surprise, even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. He has to take a nap. Alright, let us investigate. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them. I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, gramophone, musical instruments. Some even some enormous paintings, look. Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. Something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policeman shuffling around. And the gun, and the blood, and... not much I can do about that, Sunshine. This is a revolver. A real one. I know because I picked one up before. I have first-hand experience with revolvers. And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windibank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Rune look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. And I've had issues with guns in the past. I have a gun problem. Like picking them up when I don't mean to. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windibank with this yesterday, didn't we? It only had one bullet, too. I shot to take my own life. Please forget about that. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Windibank told us that he'd only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in this gun has been fired. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Poor Mr. Windibank. He was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once, through the heart. Most likely, the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Except for the excruciating pain of getting shot through the heart. This must be his blood, then. You know what time it is, Iris. Ah! I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry about it, Susie. I'm ready for action. Ready, aim, fire! Boing! What are you doing and what are you shooting in here? So, now we know the color of the chemical turns when it reacts to Mr. Windibank's blood. His blood is really blue. What kind of creature has blue blood? And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already... No, but let's add the sample to the others we've already collected anyway. Blue blood. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, This is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah! Now what is it, Iris? That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh. Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this is about. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you. We must check inside the box at once, so I can read the manuscript. Yes. Ah! It was here. Iris's story was there. I got a glimpse of the first page. Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he'd deposit it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it. Really? Because that's not a very well-hidden frown. That was his manuscript and entered into the court record. Let me look at this again here. Iris? Iris, wake up. Don't worry, I'm alright. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely. That's about all we can investigate in here. Maybe we can present some stuff to Mr. Gregson here, see what he thinks. So, manuscript, can I examine this? Can I read The Hound of the Baskervilles? The Hound of the Baskervilles. Do you know what a Baskerville is? How did Suzato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? She's not saying anything. I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me. I'm so sorry. I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind, Naruto-san. Is that what I think it is? The ladyship's latest. Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles. I'm just going to tell everybody now about it. A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And, I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time? Good question. I can't really remember. I see. Well, you wouldn't... Why would you, Why would you, your ladyship? I'll just await its publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. Nothing remarkable. You looking to get arrested, Sunshine? Didn't mean it like that. Even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? No tennis share, Sunshine, no general public warning. That's good, I'm gonna... Oh, gee. Ah, lovely. I guess that's all we can, present. There's nothing else to talk about. Let me double check that. There's nothing else left to examine in here. I don't think there is. nope, 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 nope. Okay, I think we're done here. Okay, where should we go? I think we're done with the main shop. Let's go to the hospital, see if Sholmes is awake. Maybe that'll progress the plot. Or not. It won't progress the plot. Okay. Okay, fine. Nope. Okay. Just go down the list here until we find where I need to be. Here we go. Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute. What is it, Iris? Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Guinea could have slipped the key from the jailer and avoided looking and escaped. Oh my. Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse and make my life miserable if she did that. My defendant has escaped from jail. How am I supposed to explain that? Calm down, Runo. I was only joking, of course. Oh. Don't joke about that. You had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction moment. Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms. Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed like an insane person. I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Yes, come along then, Runo. Come along, Susie. Okay, let's go to Sholmes' suite. Okay, nothing here. Nothing here. Okay, the mark is the mark of the pawnbroker. Okay. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windybanks. I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home. Poor Iris, she's very upset by all this. I'm sorry, I was there, I should have done more, yada yada yada. None of this is your fault, Runo, so please, don't apologize. But okay, I'll stop apologizing, let's move on. If the criminals who are to blame for all this, let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Yes, you're right. That's what we are doing. It's already been 2 months we've been taking lodging here at Mr. Sholmes' office. Still can't quite believe it. Never expected things would turn out like this. When Hurley comes back home, let's have a big party. That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sholmes is very tough. Yes. Is there anything else for me to investigate in here? The policeman, let's investigate him. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. I'm pretty sure he's been staring at that same wall for the past 30 minutes. Are we sure he's not a statue or a mannequin? Maybe he's a Shh, keep it down! Oh, sorry. There's a major clue just here. Really? Then you must tell Grexy at once. But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't been able to be home 2 days. I always need another constable to leave me and take over the shift. Ah, they really have a tough time, the British police. That doesn't stop us investigating, though, does it? No, I suppose not. Fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Yeah, we've already looked at the calendar, so we already have that. There's nothing else to do here. Okay, so the only thing I can really do is present stuff. And just see what happens. Let's present this to my Iris, maybe. Oh, my manuscript. Mr. Sholm said he deposited it at Winniebank's, and he had. But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it? I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose. Oh, maybe it's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines. Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Let's see. I'm just going to present everything to the characters I have to see what we can get out of them. Because clearly I need to present something. The summary. Oh, no. The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. Like, what would happen if you inject your reagent into somebody's body? Would it turn all of their blood a certain color? Would it turn them green or purple? You really are a genius, Iris. I know, I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists. And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to, I'm sure they would. Well. Poor Guinea. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean. I'll defend her with everything I've got. So, she'll be alright, won't she? Am I that bad at instilling confidence? Okay, this is nothing. Okay. There's nothing else I can do here. I guess we gotta present stuff to Gregson. Hey, you wanna look at my armband? Inspector Gregson. Drink some more tea. There you go. Glug, 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 glug. Inspector, what do you think of this? Oh, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of the office stationery and left the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Why do you keep saying was to hand? Why don't say on hand? Yes, this is a ticket for Mr. McGilded's overcoat. One that little diver turned up with yesterday. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do you? No, I didn't mean to, just read the ticket. Reno's right, Grexy. It isn't the same ticket. Well, of course it isn't. Of course it isn't. I never doubted your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold as to ask? This is a second ticket. A second one? It seems that Mr. McGilded in fact had another article in storage here at Windybanks. That's right. I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. Alright, Mr. Fish and Chips, what do you gotta say? This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat. Eh? You mean to tell me? Yes. Yes, there is more than just a music box disc, it seems. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly. Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilda deposited another article here with Mr. Windybank. Yes, I can see written here. A small box, was it? Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue. Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes, all full of hope and expectation. It's much too pressure. I lose me marbles, I'll go barking. I must eat fish. And potatoes. Must eat them faster, like infinite thing of fish and chips. He will never get to the bottom of that. I'm gonna take a sip of water here while he does that. Okay. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector Fish and Chips. That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it? Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here, then? That's right. It's been forfeited. Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop, where the forfeited items are offered for sale. Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search the first room at once. You're wasting your time. Oh? There are dozens of little boxes out there, under you. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. That information's not written in the ledger. Well then, how did Mr. Windybank keep track of which box belonged to which person then? Well, I think we should at least have a look, just in case. Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. Dong! You jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windybank set such a wicked trap? I doubt he set out to scare anyone. Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon. Oh? Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind. Don't you remember, Bruno? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer. Really? Did I say that? Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching. In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Or we can just stay here and look around some more. Like, I wanted to investigate why the lamp broke. I guess maybe that's not important. But I mean, you're right, there are a lot of little boxes in here, so I guess, I mean, there's some, like, up here. Okay, let's go back to the prison. Ah, Gina. Good. You're back. Ah. Can we take a sample of your blood? The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Guinea? Was it awful? Yeah? Oh, didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Winniebanks. Oh, right. Don't you want to know how we got on? We've been ever so busy. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying, that I did it. That's not... Gina, we came to ask you for your final decision. Eh? What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not? I must submit the paperwork now if you like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. See, what represents something? Oh, hey, bear it away. Here's the story. We found it. We found this in Mr. Winniebank's storeroom, by the way. A manuscript of Iris's latest story. Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Winniebank showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. The box file that housed the manuscript. This manuscript, I mean. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? Eh? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Ah! Why don't you tell us what happened, please? Okay, that unlocked another option. Let me ask her about this. Do you see this... Oh. Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Winniebanks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now. Totana's kind of brownish, but whatever. Eh? What that? I don't know. They look the same to me, those tickets. Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it. That would appear to be blood. Eh? Does that ring any bells? I don't know. It looks all the same to me, blood. It's all red and sticky and stains. And they all sound the same to me, these answers. Suspicious. Very sus. Here, look at this thing. No, Tom. I wasn't saying you couldn't have it. Oh, wouldn't you? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, see? So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. No time. No time. Oh, alright then. Blimey. Give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So come on then. Fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime. And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is yet, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Winniebank's that night. We just stated that. Alright, yeah. This Baskervilles story. It's the latest Sean's adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least 5,000 pounds. What? It's worth more than that. So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No, Guinea. How could you? What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do is find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, was really there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake. Isn't that right? Ah. We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Guinea. I just knew it. Well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before. Flashback again. Fools do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Winniebank's. You'd soon see if you had a look. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Guinea, that was so sweet of you. Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. Let's talk about the representation first. We already have the representation papers and other documents we need. All we have to do is hand them to the court. And that is, if you allow me to represent you in court tomorrow. Nah, don't bother. Guinea! Rip them up and chuck them, would ya? Them representation papers, or whatever they're called. They so fancy enough to have it been. So what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own. No, you won't. I don't think you will be. Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. It wasn't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winniebank's. It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. Well, Harder in the sense that she can never see her father again. Because he's kinda dead. That's why she writes your stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was just listening to what you were saying. Stories about Daddy. You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah. You're so thoughtful and so kind, Guinea. Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I ate all this chummy nonsense, do you hear? I ate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. If you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scrapper. You called me Scarper. I'm not gonna leave. I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there, on both sleeves of that overcoat, is poop. I mean, no, it's are some very suspicious red stains. Well, actually, they don't look red, they look kind of brown. But yeah, they're like old blood stains, and yeah, they're kind of gonna be old. What? Why are you looking at me like that? I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Present some more stuff? Blood samples? Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet. What? Blood, Mr. Naruhodo. You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splattered from Mr. Winniebank when he was shot last night? Nah, I don't think so. It looks older than that. Let's not beat around the bush here. Come on, Guinea. Lift your arms up so I can shoot you with my amazing blood-colored changer gun. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else. Take it easy, Iris. Aim. Don't move, Guinea. I'm gonna shoot. Purple blood. It's a Klingon. You killed a Klingon. Oh. Oh my. What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood of a Klingon? Aha, yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim in the murder case 2 months ago. I knew it. What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story. Oh, I gotta talk with you now. We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGillicud's overcoat. But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Hello again. Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from the stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. If you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilda trying to pull the victim to his feet. No, if that was what had really happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat. The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilda's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I tried to run from the truth for long enough, but there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, Magnus McGilded. Hi, Sonny, you finally caught me. Good job. I'm already dead now, so it doesn't matter. Mr. Naruhodo. That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen? Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilda was innocent? Well, we certainly had our doubts at the end. I believed, or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. A weapon? My sword of truth. My sword of justice to find the truth. Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. You mean Kazuma-sama? Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief. Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us, can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. Bye-bye. What's funny, Gina? Core. Sounds like this in Empire of Japan you come from. Everyone must be soft. I wouldn't say that. Oh, come on. Look at the mess I got you in, believing in that buck trouble. Yes, I inadvertently helped the murderer walk free. Well, at least you learned your lesson now, yeah? Believing in people is never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one. Get out by no one. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants all now. Mister, I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me, in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that has happened. Yeah, okay, I trust her. Let's move on. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? Are you half-baked? Baked? Are you baked on weed? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Odo. Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Did just rip off me tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you in all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it. Gina. I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to life than you yet realize. What do you mean? What? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Eh? It's true, but I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side. So give me a call, and I'll represent you in court. 'Cause I'm super duper lawyer man Naruhodo. Yunosuke. What? What do you expect me to say to that? Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your named so beautifully. Do what you like. You Eastern-Lot are... I don't know what you are. I don't get you. You're not getting paid for this either. But I don't have any money. Gina's taking herself off to the back of her cell. She'll never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end. I think. Whoever's hiding there, don't. Show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice. Mr. Zato? Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. My judo sense is tingling. Somebody who wasn't there before. Nani? Excuse me. Hold on. Who could it be? Blimey, you're sharp. Eh? Inspector. Okay. I suppose you're using one of those mystic Japanese arts. Like the art of stealth I've heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector Fish and Chips. Craigsy! Oh dear me. I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you. How long have you been listening in on our conversation? Good grief, listening in? No. I just got word that there are some visitors who are refusing to leave, even though it's after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. This very minute, not a moment earlier. That is all it is, nothing untoward, nothing at all. After hours? Is it that late already? So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodle-doo, cheerio, all the best, bye-bye, night. That's a lot of farewells, not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. Oh, but I want to have a chat. I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute. Oh, I see. That's a shame. If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will, well... Emergency? Lord Strongheart. Nothing. Forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off. Alright, Grexy. If you have to, well, let's chat soon. Delighted. Charmed. Can't wait. Would you please? My pleasure. That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. Gregsy's so funny. He says such silly things. It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police spawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court. I must attend the court's clerk's office now before it closes. Yes, of course. Thank you, Miss Susato. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later. And so, our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. I have to do the case all by myself. The trial by myself. Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted. What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All on the back of news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon. Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them. I know exactly what you mean. I think. Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow. Please do not judo chop me over the head. That is not the last thing you need to do. One final task? It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, though we managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret. I'm so sorry, Susato-san. It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts. I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something. And what would that be? It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities. Faucets? Like a water faucet? No. And like a jewel, the light plays off of them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total faucets. And what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those faucets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on, for as long as we live. That's so true. Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. That all the faucets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together. Naruhodo-san. I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark. It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much. Sorry? I've what? What do you mean I've grown? I'm the same size as I was when I got here. Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m., which is about 2 hours from now. It's very late. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station. Absolutely not. I will not be seen in public with you. From this point on, no more. Sorry? I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow. Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean? Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this. What is that? Some huge bundle of documents. Documents, yay. It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus. The McGilded case. It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windybank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you. With everything else she's had to think about, Shidao-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting. It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina. Thank you so much, Sudaro-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Much better than Maya. Wait, I don't mean that for certain. Like, you actually do... You do make reasonable... You are a good assistant. You do not partake in mystical BS. I'm very, very happy about that. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there. Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Well, It's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room. Suzato-san, I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night. Wait, there's something I need to say. Hey, oh no. No. Why? What was that? Why did you have to judo chop me? I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. Secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown. Shutdown? Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears. Suzato-san. It really worked. I'm numbed out. I can't move. How long does this last? I'm paralyzed. She hit me so hard in the neck I can't move. I think my neck is broken. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a cane. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. I mean, I'm kind of paralyzed on the floor in a really awkward position right now, so I can't... It's not very comfortable. But I forced myself to close my eyes, here on the floor. And a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind. Eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Oh, there's more? Okay. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Is it Sholmes? Yes, it is, okay. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place, exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with... Oh, is it Susato? It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear Madame. To be continued next time. Alright, so the trial begins next time. Yay, the fun parts. Alright, so trial begins now. So, what have we determined here? Well, I guess you really don't know who the actual murderer is. I assume it's one of the two people that we caught a glimpse of at Windybanks, and possibly maybe Mr. Eggs Benedict is still a suspect in my mind as well. So I expect we'll see him again. And yeah, so I guess we're probably going to wrap up the mystery of what happened with the omnibus case. And Susato's gone. We're not going to have our trusty assistant by our side anymore, so Naruhodo will be on his own next time. The final trial of the Ace Attorney Adventures part of this game. So looking forward to that. So, anyway, hope everybody enjoyed my terrible voice acting. You know the drill. Anyway, I'll continue this later, and have a good night. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.